Welcome to the 21st Vegan Convergence of the Peoples. I'm your Climate Healers NC, and so I am pleased to introduce to you climate healer, million vegan grandmother, Tami Hay. Now, she has a master's in live food nutrition. She has a beautiful book called Earth Gut, the interconnection between the earth we eat and what is happening in our gut. She has a second book she'll be introducing on Sunday at the VCOP book launch. So she's introducing to us International Cow and Calf Mother's Day. Please welcome Tami Hay.
Thanks, Rebecca. Wow, I don't know how to follow Lee. Paul and I were laughing very hard. And, sometimes we have to laugh at humans' ability for resilience in the way that they see the world and how long they can hold on to their belief systems and all the justifications around that. So thank you. So a little while ago, the grandmothers had a vision of International Calf and Cow Day. It was a thought I was having, and we had talked about it for a while. And what we're doing here is we're going to invite people to be part of this movement. We are going to be launching on Mother's Day this year and building the momentum up to 2026. So it'll be called International Calf and Cow Mother's Day. And what we're doing is we're coming through with compassion. We're coming through from that grandmother energetics of compassion into the world and bringing the power of motherhood and the mothers of all species. I'd like to invite Sailesh up with me as well, and Allison, and Judy said she wanted to come up as well. If that would be okay, onto the screen, that would be awesome. Thank you. And anyone else, Rebecca? And anyone part of this movement? I don't see Supriya up yet. Judy? Thank you. Thank you. I'm just going to share a little bit about the vision as we move forward. And our first newsletter that went out, we announced this International Calf and Cow Mother's Day schedule for Mother's Day weekend of 2026. And it'll be part of a global initiative to celebrate motherhood and eliminate the dairy industry. As Sailesh said in an earlier talk, that when the dairy industry crumbles, it will all crumble. And it truly will. And I found the talk that we had with Tobias very interesting about making compassion easy. And I thought very deeply of that over the last little bit, over the last couple hours. And I thought, I wonder if really absolutely bringing compassion forth around mothers and how much we love the mothers and how much we love our babies, if that makes it easier for people to make the connection. If we can just bring more awareness to this, awareness doesn't change, but touch that place of compassion that's easy to access through babies and motherhood. Most of us really were nurtured deeply to greater or lesser degrees by our mother, maybe the mother energetics, the grandmothers, and the absolute bond with babies and what that's like. So bringing the awareness through calf and cow to the mothers of all species. And part of this year initiative is also we would like to bring forth a film, a meditative, beautiful, powerful film with gorgeous cinematography of both the mothers and the babies, the bonds. And this is going on with human babies as well. And then how perverse it is to steal the babies. And I'm imagining the film being called Mothers, the Stolen Life of Babies. And so that's another vision that we're asking you to hold for us and be part of in whatever capacity you feel you can be part of in this next year as we build the momentum. We welcome ideas. The grandmothers have moved to just meeting monthly, and we meet the second Wednesday of every month in the morning and then again in the evening. And we're going to have guest speakers in regards to this movement, this international movement. So we have recorded some of the talks we have. We're going to start recording them all, and you'll have access to the recordings if you can't be at them. The next person that we're going to be interviewing is Renee from Rowdy Girl Sanctuary, the second Wednesday of May. And I would like everyone else to share. Did you want to share a little bit, Sailesh, and whoever else would like to come in and share a little bit about their vision for International Calf and Cow Mother's Day?
Yeah, thank you, Tammy. Thank you for holding this vision and bringing us all together around it. I've been struck by the fact that even human children are being taken away from their mothers. No mother wants their child to become addicted to sugar and fast food, and we're all being suckered into this system that's turning our children into customers for the pharmaceutical industry as they grow up, and so that all their money is given to corporations. And I don't think any mother really wants that for their child when they're born, and yet we are sort of conditioned to go along with this. So it's not just mothers of other species, but even mothers of our own species who are being exploited in the system, and the children who are being exploited in the system. And I think the idea of the International Calf and Cow Mother's Day is to sort of make this common bond that we have between all mothers and all children, and how we now overcome the machines that are really running our lives, and how we turn that into something more positive for all of us.
I'd like to share a perspective from where I live, which is in Peru. And I've lived here for many years. And so I've had exposure to a celebration of mothers the entire time I've lived here, going on 30 years now in Peru. And the holiday of Mother's Day here undoubtedly, it's the biggest holiday of the year. And this is a Catholic country by law. That's our religion here. But I guarantee you, Mother's Day is a bigger holiday than Christmas or Easter or even New Year's. No one misses Mother's Day. If you aren't home with your mother, celebrating with a big family meal, the whole family gather to honor the mother, then you're on some other planet. That's the way it is here. And so I'm anticipating that this vision of exposing the relationship between the mother cow and her calf and what's happening in modern animal agriculture to mothers around the world, I think it's an opportunity that maybe is more profound than what we are anticipating. At least here in Peru, the mother is the maximum. She's the most. There's nothing more important than the mother. So I see this as an opportunity, at least here in Peru, and I think if we think more broadly, worldwide, where people really do understand the importance of the role of the mother. So let's go. Let's get it done. Let's share this story.
Yeah, that's wonderful what you said, Allison and Sailesh. That was a really interesting take on mothers being separated from their children through the drugs and bad food and all that. I had not thought about that. But Tammy, I think that this is a brilliant vision that you have. And I think there's lots of different ways that we can bring this to the public and to help not just cows, but to bring more empathy into the world. But I think there may be several of us who have lost children of our own. And that gives us a certain perspective too. I know there's numerous people in the movement that have lost children, either as babies or adults or whatever. And so it gives us a voice, I think, to speak for the cows when they lose their babies, and all the other animals too. It's not just the cows, but I love the way that you have focused it in on that, because that helps people, I think, identify, oh, cows, and start thinking, okay, that's where all this milk is coming from. And I think for me, I mean, I can remember when I was vegetarian for a long time and just had it in my head that it was okay to drink milk. That I mean, my mother, when I said I was going vegan, she said, but you have to help the cows. They'll be in pain if nobody's milking them. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's how I grew up, thinking that we're actually helping the cows, and never mind the baby cows that would really like to have that milk. So I myself was completely blind to it for so many years. And so I think it is a real important point for especially vegetarians and empathetic people to get this, to get it, what's really happening here. And we talked about human supremacy earlier, that earlier talk. I mean, is this not a perfect example of that? Well, we'll just take the baby away so we can have the milk. So I feel like there's tremendous potential with this, Tammy, and I really admire you for getting this going. And, I think a lot's going to come out that we haven't even imagined yet. So thank you.
Yeah, just a couple things I want to mention. We're also challenged with time, and I think there's a lot of things going on around time. And so there's 48 people here today on this convergence, and maybe more than that, because there might be people doubling up. But if you would make one committed action of supporting this, it's going to be a whole community that's going to be able to bring this forth, because none of us individually have the time or space to bring it forth. But one committed action. So one of the ways you might be able to support is we're building a website, and maybe there's going to be some photography or a really good article or a video you would like to share. Please send it to me, and I'll put a couple emails in the chat, my personal one, and then maybe Silas or Allison can put in grandmothers at Climate Healers. We hope to send out newsletters every week, and people will sign up for the newsletters, and maybe there's something you would like to write for that. I know one of our members of our community that wants to be a really big part of this. She's doing a lot of work from Sweden, and she's writing a lot of articles for plant-based news. And she actually, coincidentally, but there's no coincidences, synchronistically is writing a book on this whole subject. And we came together when the grandmothers came together about 3 years ago. But that's how the universe works. When we make a decision and we put our heart and our spirit, we're inspired because we're in spirit behind us, then things happen and we connect with other people that are doing the same. So my ask is, however you feel or see yourself contributing to this, maybe you have an idea of what we could set up as, the big celebration a year from now, and what that would look like in your city, or your community, or even your country. It's going to be really big if enough of us come together and contribute. And this is a community ask, a community project. So if anyone would like to add to that ask, I would appreciate it.
There are a lot of vegetarians, ethical vegetarians on the planet. I think they are 3 times as much as all the vegans, if not more. And when I speak to them and I tell them that actually ethical vegetarianism, that's what I used to be. I used to be ethical vegetarian. Ethical vegetarianism is the most destructive ecologically of all lifestyles. They are shocked. They didn't know. And when I explained to them about the ethical vegetarian myth and why ethical vegetarianism is the most destructive lifestyle, they get it. And then they realize it's all about awareness. If only they were aware, they would have gone vegan, right? So they've asked me, I was at Brahmakumaris talking to, they're all ethical vegetarians. A lot of Brahmakumaris have turned vegan now because they see this, they understand the true impact of the dairy industry. And so they're asking now for a short video that they could go and show to everyone in Brahmakumaris so that they can get their community to go vegan. And so I think that's the kind of initiative that I would like to see come out of this International Calf and Cow Mother's Day, where we collaborate, we create these targeted appeals to ethical vegetarians and help them transition to veganism, so we can free the mothers. And if the ethical vegetarians go vegan, I'm convinced that the entire world will go vegan very, very quickly soon after. Because it reaches a tipping point beyond which it's impossible to sustain the system. I also believe that if everyone had healthy and tasty food available to them, everyone would be vegan. Okay, so I've had the opportunity to eat Marlene Vatsantara's food. She creates these gourmet whole food plant-based meals. And it's presented in a way that's appealing to you as well. So she goes into great lengths to put the right colors on the plate so that, and the presentation is such that it's appetizing for everyone. And she catered the banquet dinners at the Oxford Literary Festival, both the opening and closing banquet dinners. They were completely 100% vegan and whole food plant-based. And she got a standing ovation. Okay. So, and I told her, if everyone had access to your food, the world will be vegan today. I have no doubt in my mind. So it's I use the analogy of the fire, right, on the planet, and that there is a fire in our home. And with a fire in your home, then you would do anything to save the fellow residents in your home. You would first tell them about the fire and may even carry them over and lift them out of the home so that they are no longer in danger. And I say that giving them this kind of food is putting out the fire, is equivalent to putting out the fire. So we need to just give them so much love with the kind of food we give them, and then they will come along.
Thank you. Rebecca, thank you.
Yes, thank you. What a lovely idea. And I love the idea of reaching out to those that are already vegetarian. And I was thinking about the bridges and reaching to collaborating with other groups. And we also collaborate with the Founding Mothers Movement. And they are doing a red tent thing this Mother's Day. And for next year, when they do the red tent, we need to be right in there, but not just with that one, with all of the other groups. And so my mind is going around and around with, oh, what other group is doing something, and what can we serve them so that we can collaborate and get that mother message across. So thank you for letting me share that. And I see Dolly is here too.
I would just like to mention, Rebecca, before we move on to Dolly, that one of the groups I would like to see join us is Switch for Good with Dotsie Bausch. Maybe she can speak at one of our upcoming meetings. And I remember as a child being given these cartons of milk every single day in school, and how terrible it tasted, and how many of us just threw it in the trash. So how do we get children represented in this movement also, in this activity? Yeah. Dolly?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh gosh, so I love you all. Thank you so much, everybody, for all that you do. This topic is so dear to my heart. All mothers deserve to have the right for their life, and have the right to be with their babies and nourish their babies, just like us. And I spoke on Mother's Day at the Vegan Society of Peace here in Houston. I love to speak on the behalf of mothers. And Dr. Rao, actually, I would love to speak to Brahmakumaris, making that one switch. Some of my mom's friends are Brahmakumaris. And if they're willing to do this, I would love to speak. And like you said, we can make chash, our buttermilk, this way. We can make our Indian tea this way. If they could only just try how we make the food taste so delicious, cruelty-free, I think a lot of Indians believing in pure ahimsa would be ready to make that switch, I also think that the dairy industry, and not just the dairy, but all moms, it is the biggest betrayal to motherhood and the female body. Because all we're doing is using them for this one reason, because they're female. But she's not a milking machine, or hens are not just there to produce eggs. They're a sentient being, and it's time that we be one, If we want freedom, we got to give freedom. If we want to give our milk to our babies, we got to give it. Whatever we want, we have to give to others. And this is the way we will have peace. Can everybody hear? Moya, can you come here? Because the thing is in the way. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. So that's what I wanted to say. I'm here with you all, and whatever I can do on speaking behalf of the mother, which is, she's most unforgotten with all the animals. Judy's correct. We always think about dairy, but the hens, the pigs, the goats, the sheep, we're all violating the female. And Mother Earth is the female herself. She's first. She's a female, and she gives us life. Mother Earth, we got to protect her first.
Thank you, Dolly. Thank you for your film as well. It really brings a lot of awareness of what's going on in the dairy industry, Land of Ahimsa. So if there's anyone on here who hasn't seen Dolly's film yet, it's a real must see. It's on both on Chain TV, and I believe it's on Climate Healers.
Yeah,
it's also on plant-based news.
Okay,
yes,
great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Namaste.
Hi, thank you. And Dolly, you're such a beautiful person.
You too.
Can
you
hear
too.
me? Thank you.
Yes, all of you are. The bottom of my heart. Thank you.
I know that Judy with the IBC, you have these wonderful religious kits for different faiths. And I'm wondering, Tammy, what your perspective is on how we get spiritual communities to get engaged and get on board with this, you know, there's been such a long tradition, especially in Catholicism, where women were, you know, I just thinking about nuns lately, how we're oppressed like second-class citizens. There's so much of that, and how some of the organized religions have, what do I want to just say, promulgated that approach. And I'm wondering how we can get through those barriers, you know, and make inroads where motherhood is a respected, uh, I don't even have the word for it, where there's more respect for motherhood and for women, and how we can bring them along in this way, you know, not through just awareness, but like you say, inspired action. So that's really, for me, it's kind of like been a ruminating question about how do we get through to so-called spiritual communities. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you, Jenny. I see that we're almost at the top of the hour and some of our guests are arriving, but I would love to have that as a conversation, Judy. Is there something that we could give to every faith in regards to this movement about how it violates all of these different religious beliefs, including what you talk about, Dolly, ahimsa? It violates every bit of ahimsa. Every component of ahimsa, as Judy beautifully points out in her book of the new species, we are becoming Homo ahimsas. So thank you everyone for being here. Let's keep the conversation going. Please, I ask one more time, if you would be so kind as to have a conversation with me or any of us, and we will, I think the emails are in the chat, something that you would like to share with us in regards to this movement. So, thank you.
If I can read one message I got from Zach Loas, it's appropriate to what Danny asked. There is a monastery in Bhutan we collaborated with to help reverse the health issues that monks and members of their community were facing by transforming all their dishes to vegan dishes for 30 days. Based on the results of these 30 days, the monastery has now gone completely vegan, permanently, with the goal of helping other monasteries there to go vegan as well. So we ordered and had manufactured and delivered plant-based milk, tofu, smoked tofu, and tempeh machines, and packaging equipment for them so that they can also produce their own affordable, economical substitutes in-house and provide to other monasteries and communities, and had some of our friends go to train them on using it all. Here are some photos and videos from the process over the past month. This is from Zach Loas, and the monks from that monastery are going to be presenting at the next convergence. Okay, and their goal is to make Bhutan the first vegan country in the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Silas, and thank you, everybody. Wow, that was wonderful. Thank you, Dolly, for joining in. Judy and Allison, Danny.